If you guys can hear me pretty good, give me that fly thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear me pretty good. If I'm heard nice, crisp, and clearly, give me a thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building. Everybody give us a nice retweet to let folks know we're live right now. There you go. Few things going on. We're going to have an event at the Hidden History Museum. We were going to do it for Halloween, but there's so much stuff going on because a lot of people have been renting out the Hidden History Museum. So we've been having a lot of events. There was an event, like a private event there yesterday. It was packed up there. So we got so much stuff happening at the museum within the next few weeks. We're pushing our event back to November. We're going to do the comedy um, mixer event sometime mid-November, and I keep you guys posted on that. We were going to do a little Halloween thing, but we got so much going at the museum, we just had to push it back. Because a lot of people in the community, they love doing things at the museum, and a lot of people are renting it out for different things. And it's a staple in the community out here. So we're very proud to be able to serve the community of LA out here with the museum and other places. But y'all come on out if you were in LA, come on out and visit. But we'll keep you guys posted on the event we're going to have in November. So y'all stay tuned for that. Um, Also, what else is happening? Still trying to decide on which documentary film we're going to knock out next. I really want to do that Dr. Francis Cress Welsing documentary. I really want to do that. A lot of people want us to do another version of Hidden Colors. We've been getting a lot of requests for that. People want a new Hidden Colors documentary. So a lot to think about. And then some people are saying we need a buck breaking too. So we're gonna have to have a poll. I might have to put a poll up when I do my next YouTube to kind of decide what we're gonna do, which film direction we're gonna go in. But I really want to do that Dr. Welsing piece, but we're getting so many requests for other things. But I keep you guys posted on that as well, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of stuff going on, and I'm gonna get some calls in a minute. Y'all get ready for the calls. I get some calls in a minute. People are still watching the election, seeing where that's going right now, seeing where the numbers are going. They got Kamala Harris really um, trying to black it up. They really, really keep surrounding her around a lot of black folks. They got the Hollywood system and the Boule system really going hard for her. The what was that preacher Jamal something? What's his name? The guy on the East Coast, that preacher. He was in the church with Kamala, and then he was preaching, talking about, and this is clearly some talking points coming from the top. What is this man's name? What is his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I keep wanting to say Jamal Bowman, but it's not Jamal Bowman. What's his name? Now I'm stuck. Okay, I want to know the guy's name. Juicy. You know who I'm talking about, Juicy. What's this guy's name? I know you know, Juicy. Help me out real quick, because now I got a brain fart. Now I want to remember the guy's name. Oh, where'd Juicy go? What's up, Juice?
Hey, King Tariq, shout out to you. His name is Jamal Bryant, and he
There
has, I
you
believe, it's
go.
New Birth here in Atlanta, which is a mega church here in Atlanta.
Jamal Bryant. I kept wanting to say Jamal Bowman. I knew it was a Jamal and a B. So yeah, Jamal Bryant. All right, there you go. I knew you knew. Thank you, beloved. All right, Jamal Bryant. So he was up here talking all of that. The black woman, y'all black men need to support the black woman. The black woman fed you. The black woman clothed you. The black woman. If man, when they start doing that, I get so damn offended, man. When they start propping up Kamala, trying to talk about the black woman, and if y'all don't get the hell out of here, he was doing that. That's really offensive. That's really offensive, and that's coming from the DNC. That's coming from the Boule DNC, them think tanks. They're going to try to shame black men into supporting Kamala by comparing her to the black women in our lives. Ain't no damn comparison. That woman is not a foundational black American. I'm letting black people know, black men in particular, you don't owe Kamami nothing. That woman is not a foundational black American. We do not owe her the same honor, respect, and praise as we do foundational black American women. Kamala Harris ain't never walked in the shoes of foundational black American women. She ain't never put in the work of foundational black American women. We don't owe Kamala a damn thing. Kamala ain't never fed a community. She ain't never fed the black community like foundational black American women. She never taken care of children in the community like foundational black American women. You never helped families out when they were in need like a lot of foundational black Americans I grew up with. When did she do that? There's a lot more to being a foundational black American woman than just dancing and going to a damn HBCU. There's a lot more to it. Not only is it disrespectful to black men, that's disrespectful to black women. Trying to give a Hindu bedwench the same type of accolades as foundational black American women. That's stolen valor. That woman has never walked in the shoes of foundational black American women. FBA women are goddamn riders. They don't, her lineage don't have an Ida B. Wells. There is no Rosa Parks in her lineage. There is no Coretta Scott King in her lineage. There is no Shahrazad Ali in her lineage. There is no Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in her lineage. How damn dare you just disrespect foundational black American women by comparing a Hindu bedwench to them? You understand? I'm I feel disrespected for the sisters being compared to that riffraff ass broad. No, y'all don't get to do that. Jamal Bryant and all y'all buck dancing it up for extra shekels from the damn DNC. That ain't cool. Not cool whatsoever. So they know that, look, Kamala is losing. Her numbers ain't where they're supposed to be. You know what I heard out there in Texas? Because they're doing some early voting now. I heard in Texas, I forgot what city this is, but in Texas, I heard that people were voting for Trump and the little janky machines were changing the vote to Kamala. Did y'all hear that? I heard this was going on somewhere in Texas. Have y'all heard that? Yeah, they were voting for Trump, but then the machine would register Kamala. So they already doing some low janky stuff, and they're trying to blame it on some errors on the machines. Let's get Brother Ani Asaru. Have you heard anything like that, Brother Ani? Let me get you on, brother. Brother Ani, hop on, sir.
What's going on, Flex?
What's going on with you, brother?
Man, it's a lot going on. I don't know if you watched that 20v1 little dating thing. They probably got that from what you did back in the day.
Yo, they
Talking
pop
about little,
balloons.
yeah, they did something like they had some black guy come up there, and they one of the women asked him what was his plan to vote for this year, and he said, "Well, it's not really my thing. I'm not feeling the candidates." And all of the women popped their balloons. It is on like a white type little platform, and then they put like an ad up. So I think
I
that
saw.
was to shame black men. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that cornball ass nonsense. Yeah, these folks are getting so desperate right now. Yeah, I saw that corny nonsense. So yeah, they're really trying to do the shame vote, and there was somebody I retweeted, some tether woman, just really denigrating black men. What is her tweet? She made her page private because everybody started going in on her ass. What's this woman's name? Let me show y'all what she made it private. She was like, have y'all noticed? Wait, black dudes not supporting Kamala Harris are misogynistic trash that don't give a damn about the women in their lives or in their own communities. I retweeted this musty fool. Everybody got on her bumper and she had to make her page private. Yeah, these tethers, they're not going to sit up here and try to shame us into going along with the okie doke. We're not doing that whatsoever. We're going to get some more calls in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all hang tight. The trial started with Daniel Penny up there in New York, the suspected white supremacist who allegedly lynched a special needs black man, Jordan Neely. It's very interesting what's going on because a lot of the white supremacists online, they've been really trying to cape for Daniel Penny. He's going to be, they want him to be the new Bernard Getz. There's every like decade or so, there has to be one of these lynchings of an innocent black person at the hands of a suspected white supremacist. And they have to be able to get off with doing that. That's very important. Let me break this thing down. Why you see a lot of these suspected white supremacists caping for Daniel Penny after this guy clearly did a brazen alleged murder. And the justification, and the white supremacists just keep making up all of these scenarios like, oh, Jordan Neely was about to attack a woman. No, he wasn't. It's a bunch of I'm white and I say so. He's a completely innocent man. He's in New York yelling on a train. He was hungry, kind of talking to himself. He wasn't threatening anybody. And people yell on trains and talk on trains all the time in New York. That's nothing new. But in the system of white supremacy, every decade or so, it's very important for the white supremacists to be able to check the temperature of white supremacy. And the way they can check the temperature of white supremacy is to see if they can get away with a murder with impunity. That's the best way to see how strong the system of white supremacy is. When you can get away with a murder or a framing of a black person and you do it with impunity. And it's very important that the black person is innocent. That's very important because, see, the outrage is what they're looking for. Us to be outraged and not being able to do anything about it. See, that's what they look for. They want black folks to be crying, outraged, begging for help. When we're begging and crying, they're like, oh, yes, the system is strong. As long as we got these Negroes begging and crying, the system is strong. So every decade or so, they need a situation where one of these suspected white supremacists goes out here and murders an innocent black person, and then they all rally around that person and come up with a bunch of excuses and do a bunch of I'm white and I say so, and make sure that that person gets off. We got that happened with Trayvon Martin and Zimmerman. It was very important to make sure he got off because they needed to check the temperature of white supremacy because Obama was in office. The white supremacists, they kind of felt nervous. They felt like they were losing power. So they needed something to reinforce the power that they needed to understand that they still had. So the best way to do that is to see if they could get away with a murder, to make sure they got the court systems on lock, to make sure that Barack Obama better not do anything and the black community better sit on their hands. So it was very important for them to check that temperature. And here's another thing: when we go down to and they did it a lot under Obama, but there was a lot of backlash. After a while, there was nationwide backlash over that. You weren't just gonna knock off black folks with impunity and nothing went down. So fast forward to 2020, they needed to get another murder under their belt. And with the George Floyd situation, where you're doing this on camera, because see, usually a lot of the murders would happen, it wouldn't be on camera. You just hear different stories and different takes on it. But this one was very brazen. It was done on camera in real time. You got to see George Floyd get murdered. And that was very important for them to show. And it was very important for them to try to let the man off. And it backfired on them. Let's be clear. um, they were going to let that race soldier off. They didn't want to prosecute him, and that's why not only did the country turn up, the whole planet, the world turned up. Because when we got turned up over here, people start turning up in solidarity around the world. Like over there in Greece, they were attacking the U.S. embassy. Yeah, we put the United States on the hot seat. All over the world, they were stomping the yard following our lead. So they had to say, oh, we got to put this guy in jail. You see? So that didn't go like they wanted it to go. They got billions of dollars worth of damage done, and the guy went to jail anyway. So white supremacy felt weakened, and also the streets were hot. Other people in the dominant society were getting clapped up. You see? But let's go back even some more when they started offing people like um, Alton Sterling and Philando Castile and doing it with impunity. They thought they were getting away with stuff. And then what happened was you had some vigilante cats out here in the streets getting justice. You had Micah Johnson, who laid down damn near a dozen of them race soldiers. Gavin Long and some of these other people were laying them down. They weren't. They didn't expect that. Then they're like, oh, yeah. There was a people were getting their licks back. You had cats out here going for broke. So yeah, that didn't go like they wanted it to go. See, the thing is, when cats are getting their lick back, that's not the temperature that they want. That shows that the system is weak and vulnerable. Like we ain't submissive. You got black folks out here that's down to turn up and put it all on the line. So white supremacy felt weakened, and they still feel weakened. So they've been feeling weakened for a while because them knocking black folks off and just getting away with it's not as smooth as it used to be. There's a lot of get back out here in the streets. They don't like that. And the community's just not sitting on their hands. So now we got this situation where, they want to monitor this situation real closely. They want to make sure that Daniel Penny gets off. And then they want to monitor how we're going to react to it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this thing goes. But they need a win. These white supremacists are very desperate, and they need a racial win, and they judge their wins by how they can off us with impunity. And the listen, the energy is real different out here. If they try to play that old "I'm white and I say so" thing with Penny, that's not going to go how they want it to go. That's going to go real funky because yeah, everybody's already on edge, so that's not going to go where they think it's going to go. See, let's see. They thought, what the closest thing they got to a real win, which was a semi win, was Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's see, with Kyle Rittenhouse, the target was black folks, but the black folks saw what he was doing, so he ended up getting at some allies of black folks, and the white supremacists said, okay, for the time being, that's good enough. Shit, you got some white people who like black, so that's good enough. But that's still not where you wanted it to go. You don't want it to go there. You want to get at some black folks and then be able to get off. See, Kyle Rittenhouse, that was a bittersweet situation. Yeah. Yeah. They couldn't get the N-word, so they can get the N-word lovers, so to speak. You know? So that's how they check the temperature of white supremacy, doing these brazen lynchings and doing it with impunity. Because see, a lot of the cops can't keep doing that because too many lawsuits now. The cops can't keep doing that. The lawsuits are filing through, and also cats are clapping back, man, out there in North Carolina. Remember, there was a brother well, earlier this year, I think. Remember, they had him barricaded, and this brother was laying him down. Y'all remember that out there in North Carolina? This brother was laying him all the way down. They took him out, but he took some with him. I forgot that brother's name, but he wasn't bullshitting. So yeah, it's not the easy wins they think it's gonna be out here. Real interesting dynamic. We got Che Baby. Chaby. Get on. You're making a lot of gestures here, Chaby. What's going on, Chaby?
Oh, I apologize, Mr. Nasheed, Mr. Nasheed. Yes, sir. I just First and foremost, I want to say, good morning, and thank you for allowing me up here on this space. I'm
What
not sure.
city? What city you at, brother?
Oh, unfortunately, I'm up here in Dorchester, Boston. So, as a Black American man myself, I'm in the community up here, and I'm seeing what they're doing to us. I mean, during September 11th. I remember particularly there was a lot of state police officers in my neighborhood that were harassing us. I mean, I
Yeah.
saw people getting harassed. I saw people getting abused, really. And since that time, you know, I said Mikai Johnson's and with North Carolina had like that's I mean, if they don't leave us alone and let us build, wealth for ourselves, and they keep on knocking us down every time we get a little bit of power. I mean, we're eventually going to rise up and say, this is not fair on all fronts. So why shouldn't we die for what we believe in?
Yeah.
That's what our ancestors did. So maybe we should do the same thing. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to take up too much time, but me, I'm kind of a Garveyite myself, and so when I
Now,
start,
how far is it from Salem, Massachusetts?
yes, sir. I
How,
apologize.
yeah, yeah. How far is Salem from Dorchester?
I don't know. I never been to Salem.
Okay. How far are you from Boston?
In the city. So, I mean, me myself, I've experienced, the city of Boston to be a very racist city. I mean, not only because I live here, but I've heard a lot of people visiting this metropolitan place, um, renowned for schools and hospitals, to be a very, hard place, I would say. Of course, I'm not one of those community pests or anything. I love my neighborhood just as much as anybody else would, but I know, there's a certain stigma that we live with up here in Boston. Like, for example, misrepresentation. I mean, this is like a police state up here, I think. I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a lot of cops up there. Yeah, Boston got them Irish ass cops up there. Yeah, they're infamous for that. Yeah, so I'm very familiar. And then the racism in Boston, where you had NBA players saying that's one of the most racist places they've ever played. Yeah. What's up, Combo? Combo in the building. Combo in the building. Mr. Combo, unmute your microphone. Mr. Combo, Combo. If you can unmute your mic, that'll be great. And while we're waiting on Combo, let's get Brother Sir Major in the building.
Hey, what's up, brother Tariq? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
I'm doing all right. Hey, I wanted to shed a little light on Kamala Harris. You know, she was at New Birth Baptist Church, and uh, Pastor Jamal Bryant had a black woman escorted out of church by the police for being a non-supporter of Kamala Harris. Did you catch that on tape?
No, what happened?
So yeah, I guess there was a woman who was not who was, I guess, calling out the fact that Kamala Harris is a witch. Uh, you know, because there was a white boy that attended her rally, Kamala Harris rally, and said Jesus is king or something, or Jesus is Lord, and Kamala Harris said, called on tape saying that you're at the wrong rally. Y'all need to go to the rally down the street, the smaller rally,
Right.
and a lot of black religious folks did not like that. You know, you can't talk about God uh, in a disrespectful manner or in vain with some black folks, because some black folks take that real personal. Well,
Yeah.
there were some real Christians that were at the church, and they called it out, and they would not be, they were clearly not supportive of Kamala Harris, and there was a police officer in uniform escorting a black woman out of the church as Kamala Harris is on stage, and so that is caught on tape. I posted that video, and Jamal Bryant is not in any moral position, in the words of
Right. Oh, yeah.
in the words of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. He's in no moral position to give condemnation and lecture black people about how to treat women when he's got his own skeletons and own allegations that we don't have to get into, of his own. You know, he's accused of impregnating a bunch of the women of the congregation,
Oh,
and
damn.
having 7 children. So, you know, Jamal Bryant is not in any position to lecture black men about treating black women.
Wow. Wow. My man. Well, thank you so much, Major. I appreciate that. Man, let's get based somebody. Somebody's based.
Hey, what's up? It's not based like that, but
Was it based like? I don't know. Was it based?
just I'm based like I don't like I'm just my true self, like I you know
And
yeah.
what?
I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, are you over there, sir? Are you?
I do feel like black people are represented. There's especially since Elon Musk got on this app, and like now I'm seeing like all sorts of shit like Hitler speeches translated and shit, and um I don't know. Yeah, it's yeah, and I don't want to be like some white savior or whatever, you know what I mean? So, but I'm just um an ally. I'm from Colorado. I don't know if you know about Elijah McClain in Aurora.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm familiar with it. I'm
Um, he was just a kid with autism, and he had a ski mask on his face, and they were telling him to take it off. And I think the paramedics shot him up with ketamine, and he puked and aspirated on his vomit and died.
yeah.
And I went and protested. Doesn't mean shit. I didn't do anything. I just, I protested, and I was, held the line with the cops. Got, gas. Doesn't mean shit. But I can never understand y'all's perspective. So I don't
Yeah.
really have a lot to say on all this. But
All right. Thank you so much. All right, go back to getting your smoke on. There you go. All right, Jocko. What's up, Jocko? Jocko in the house.
Can you hear me?
What's up, Jock?
All right, yes, Jocko Bossi. How you doing, brother Flex? Listen, I was at the Taste of Soul 2 days ago. For those of you who are not from Los Angeles, Taste of Soul is a festival we have here in Los Angeles in the black community. It was really just like a down low, almost like a pro Kamala rally. It's like you were in a police state. They had a stage 94.7 The Wave. They had a stage, right? And one of the MCs up there, he was gauging the crowd, saying, I know you brothers up in the crowd are going to vote for Kamala. Let me get a show of hands and let me get a response. Then he had the audacity to make the comment that if any of you out there not voting for Kamala, I come down there and sock you in the jaw. I swear to
What?
God, he said that on the stage.
I know the audience didn't like that.
No, there was very little resistance from the audience. People didn't really take as much offense to it as I did, because he just kind of slipped it in and kind of jokingly, like, I come
Oh,
down and sock some of you brothers in the jaw if you ain't voting for Kamala. You know who to vote for. So I mean, it's just they pulling out all the stops right now, speaking to us like we're little children. Everywhere you turn, like you better go vote for this woman, like some damn Nazis. Excuse my language.
yeah, it's getting insane, man, and they're getting desperate. They're getting desperate because listen, Kamala is losing. Let's be real. She's losing, and they know she is, and they know who they're going to blame, and that's good. If they want to blame black men for her loss, that's good. On November 6th and 5th and 6th, you're going to hear a lot of finger wagging at us. Let's get George. Let's get George in the building. George, George. Unmute that microphone, George. And then we'll get Spook. Spook, hop on in right now because George ain't saying nothing.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Spook?
Not much, not much. Hey, I had a question for you, because I was watching Hidden Colors with the guys, and we really admire what you're doing. But I had one question, if I could ask you.
Hey, brother, go ahead.
Uh, was you ever a Pan-Africanist? And if you was, when did you switch what made you make the choice to delineate? And
Well,
I
no,
have no criticizing with delineating. I'm totally
but
with it.
I was like Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad, he recognized black people globally, but Elijah Muhammad was never a Pan Africanist. I was never the kind of person like everybody. Let's pack up, and we all gonna leave America for Africa. I've never been on that. I've been on let's do global business, and I still like to do global business. I'm like, hey man, let's get some of those African nations to do some dual citizenship and give land so we can do business. But as far as Pan Africanists, where people are talking about going to move into Africa and going back home, and no, I ain't never been on that. This has always been my home. And when you look at the Hidden Colors movie, look at how I named it a certain way, very specific. Hidden Colors One, the untold story of people of original Black and Moorish descent. You understand? So I worded it a certain way. I'm talking about the Black people who were here, Black people who were in Africa, the Black people like the Moors who traveled all over. So I was covering all bases when I was talking about Black people. So even in Hidden Colors, we talked about the Black people who were already here. We were the first people to talk about that. A lot of people, they didn't even know how long Black people were in the Americas until Hidden Colors. We were the first people to really put that out there like that. A lot of folks didn't know. I mean, you would hear certain things, but we laid it out. And I'm gonna have to do something to really, really go even deeper about it. But in the first couple of Hidden Colors films, we talk about the Black people who are already here, the Aboriginal people who are already here, letting folks know that, this is ours too. Yeah. Well, George, you here? All right, let me get George out of here. George ain't ready. George is not ready. And shout out to the brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Let me be very clear. Um, I'm still rock with brothers and sisters who are cool because I still got good folks out here in the UK. I got some riders in the Caribbean. I got riders in Africa. I got some cool folks out there. I got some cool people who are down. So look, I still rock with them. They're still my brothers. Look, when I went over there to Zimbabwe, they treated me beautifully over there. The brothers and sisters in South Africa treated me beautifully out there. The brothers in the Netherlands, when I went to Amsterdam, they brought me out there for a bunch of lectures. They treated me wonderfully. When I go globally, they treat me phenomenal. The UK, man, when I did lectures out there, I was doing lectures at concert halls, selling them out. I mean, they show mad love in the UK. That's probably why they banned me from there. I get a lot of love. Yeah, so I rock with Black folks globally still. But what I do, I recognize our lineage here. I ain't never said I'm gonna pack up and bounce because no, this is my joint here. So I recognize our brothers and sisters worldwide. I recognize the global Black family, but I also recognize the family here at home. This is my joint here. I'm not talking about going on the Black Star Line and leaving. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I never talk about doing that. I ain't going no damn where. And ain't never said I was going anywhere. I've always claimed this. I've always claimed my lineage here proudly because our few people here were phenomenal. They did phenomenal things. They sacrificed a lot for us, and this is our joint. Yeah. But I would still love to do global business with folks. That's my thing. I like to see people get built up to a certain situation where we can all do global business so that everything ain't just so one-sided. I would like to set up things where, hey, look, we helping folks get over here and get their money up. Hey, why don't y'all, hey, get some land going on over there? So if we want to go over there and vacation and kick it and do business, just like we do business in other places, man, y'all, let's set it up over there too. Y'all got all this land over here, man. We can be setting up stuff over here. Let's get some, y'all letting these Asians over here, let us come over here and do some of this business. Let's get some of these raw materials and we know where to take them. And we get everybody cut in and clicked in with the right amount of paper. Let's do global business. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. We ain't coming over here trying to colonize everybody. We want to do square business. We want to do straight up and down legitimate business. you know, but a lot of cats ain't biting on it. So it's like, all right, whatever. It's like, whatever. Let's get Darius in the building. Let's get Darius in the building. Darius in the building. Well, yeah, Darius, and then we're going to. Hey, Darius, how are you?
Man. Just to let you know, like some of the people from Crenshaw and Slauson, like we're definitely going for a lot of them is going for Trump. They really not going for Kamala Harris. They seeing the buffoonery with her.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy part about it, man. Just me and my uncle right now. That's not really messing with Kamala Harris. The rest of my family, they are Kamala Harris supporters. They are Democratic shields. Even my own mom, man. So it's like it's
Oh, yeah.
kind of sad, because a lot of our families really want this lady to win, and they're not knowing the consequences that's going to be coming behind her.
Right. Right. And they very good narrative, man. And listen, black folks, what the hell? Black people, black people, black people. What do you want Kamala Harris to win for? Really? What y'all stomping for Kamala for? I mean, for real, for real. Other than they didn't scared y'all with Trump is the boogeyman. Other than that, there is no reason to support no Kamala. What's up, Mr. Reich?
What's happening, Flex? This Righteous from Houston, Texas. I wanted to ask if you could speak on. Oftentimes, when people call in or they try to, I guess, be combative to the message that we spread, or be combative to you, they try to bring up your history and say, "Hey, man, you was doing albums like this and that." And what oftentimes I see, as black men, and as we evolve and we grow and we become more enlightened, we start to do things that are more aligned with our purpose. Oftentimes, I would tell people, man, you wouldn't have got Malcolm X if it wasn't for Malcolm Little, Daddy, Dirty Red. So the transitioning from I guess street life or gangster or just maturity, if you could speak on that. I know you did with your last message. I heard a lot of athletes saying, welcome home Big Meech. You don't know what he might do for the community, as Tukey Williams did when he transferred over. So I'm gonna land my plane. If you could speak to that, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, indeed, man. Yeah, man. Um, look, man, uh, the wagging of the finger to people because of whatever. A lot of Negroes get into fake morality. I don't knock street guys, man. I don't knock them because I came from that world. I know what it is. I know the mindset. Li- Oh, hold on, y'all. Y'all mute yourself for a minute. I get you in a minute. Please mute yourself, please. But listen, let me tell you something. And yeah, my last broadcast, a lot of people liked it because I talked a lot of street business and just kind of got into the mindset of street cats and talked about the dichotomy between the so-called square world and the street world and how there has always been a counterbalance within Black society. And you got the side, the squares, like, man, damn that street stuff. No, they be destroying the community. They destroy the community, all that. Okay, all right. Some of you square niggas be destroying the community too. Let's not go there. The squares destroy the community too. All you niggas working the 9 to 5, you working at Popeye's chicken and you got 3 baby mamas and they taking care of none of your kids. Nigga, that's destroying the damn community. All right. Don't wag your finger at the street dude. I don't want to hear none of that. You're not gonna wag. I don't do that because I know the game. If a cat's out here getting it in the streets, I'm not so quick to wag the finger because I know what it is. Cat doing a 9 to 5, I'm not wagging the finger. I know what it is. It's cool. Both sides are needed for certain things. But I don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater because a lot of people get in the game out of necessity. Some people get out and then they do phenomenal things for the community. They do phenomenal things for their families. You understand? Yeah, you got some riffraffs out here. And a lot of stuff that y'all see, a lot of the knucklehead stuff, that ain't really street business. Let me clue y'all in on some. Some of the riffraff shit where dudes are just shooting up everything. Those aren't no real street niggas. Those are square niggas trying to get involved with the streets and then they crash the fuck out. All right. These are dudes who don't know how to move and shake. They're scared, so they just crash out and just start shooting every damn body. They ain't no real street dudes. All right, let's get that straight. Emotional little fuck niggas, they ain't got nothing to do with street business. They mess street business up. Those are square dudes that then heard a couple of damn rap records, went out on the block, somebody tapped at them, then they crashed out. You understand? That ain't street whatsoever. You got a lot of little moist, feminized dudes out here who just come in and crash out real quick, and the streets get rid of them immediately. Yeah, a lot of folks crash out because they ain't built for it. You don't know how to move and shake. Yeah. But yeah, I don't throw the street cats away because let me truth be told, man, listen, a lot of the consciousness that I got it from street dudes. You understand that? When I got Dr. Welsing's book, The ISIS Papers, somebody gave that to me. My partner who had a trap house. I got that book in a trap house. My dude, my homie was in a bando trapping, and he happened to have that book. That's where I got the ISIS papers in a damn bando with cocaine on the table. I was in there with one of my partners, a real good friend of mine, and he was like, "Man, you gotta check this book out. This shit is deep." You understand? Niggas in a bando talking deep talk. You understand? A lot of conscious stuff I got put onto was street dudes. The guy who called earlier talking about him and his family like Hidden Colors. Remember, look, a lot of the folks who was really promoting Hidden Colors were the street dudes. They were selling it on the streets. The street cats were. And even my books were bestsellers because they were popular on the streets. A lot of the street dudes would promote my books. My books were big in prison. A lot of dudes in prisons were reading my books in the early 2000s and then spreading the word and spreading it to their families. And the book had a lot of street cred, and then the mainstream audiences started getting it. But it started on the streets. The street dudes held it down. When I first started selling books and doing book signings, I would go to Malik's Books on Crenshaw. Malik Book was on Crenshaw Boulevard. LA was the street cats in LA were major supporters of my early stuff. So yeah, they always showed love. So yeah, I don't wag the finger so quickly, man, because everybody's needed, man. You'll learn some of these dudes who you think is a riffraff, he's a street dude or whatever, but some of these guys got a lot of game. They can lace you with something. Not everybody, of course, not everybody, but you don't even know. You never know what somebody's path is. You never know why certain people had to take certain routes because we're in a system that's an imbalanced system. We're in a system that we shouldn't be in. So people are going to move in certain ways for survival. You understand? And look, we live in a system of deprivation. You got to understand. I understand why these guys hit the block. You're told to do the right thing. And when you try to do the right thing and you try to live the legit life, you got these deliberate obstacles right here telling you no based on race. They tell you to go to school. You're going to get a great education and get a good job. You go to school and the teachers are targeting the black boys. Black boys are getting targeted. The minute they come out the damn womb, you're getting targeted. You're getting targeted with behavioral drugs. You're getting targeted with um, certain medical procedures. I can't say, I don't want to say certain words because they flag you if you say certain words. But yeah, they throw the kids in special education and then they throw drugs on them and behavioral drugs and they get disciplined more harshly than their white, non-black counterparts. So everything is targeting males. Males, you're just getting targeted nonstop. And then when you manipulate yourself and maneuver through a lot of those obstacles and you try to go get regular jobs, you get different obstacles with that. There's the little games they play as far as that. So you try to live the square world and you're like, damn, what am I supposed to do? I'm getting deprived everywhere I go. Well, shit. Let me go ahead and hit this block. There's something over here. Let me hit that damn block. I understand. I don't condone it, but I understand why people make that decision. I get it. Yeah. Let's get who in the building. Who?
Oh, what's up, Tariq? Hey, huge fan. I just have a quick question.
Yes, and
Um,
are you Asian? You're an Asian guy?
no, I'm a Eritrean.
You reach, okay, there you go. What's on your mind?
Respect. Yeah, I was saying I seen the microphone check. Huge fan. My only question was, how come yet you didn't go to the Breakfast Club for your like during your tour promotion?
Yeah, they never hollered at me. Yeah,
Oh, for real?
yeah, they never hollered. Yeah, so
Oh,
yeah,
damn.
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they never hollered at me. But yeah, I
Uh,
was out. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, they just never hollered at me. So yeah, you got to ask them why. I don't know, but yeah, they never hollered at me. But yeah, a lot of the other stations and TV folks, they hollered. USC, what's going on?
What's going on, my favorite tether? How you
Uh,
doing today, sir?
now how am I tethered on my homeland?
You don't know where your homeland is.
I'm here. Where else would my homeland be, little
You
musty
don't
man?
know where your ancestors came from. You're a
How,
tether.
how is a musty fleeing
You
bush?
are a fucking
Now watch your mouth, little moist boy. How's a little musty bush meat eater going to tell me what my lineage is? And you don't even have a birth certificate. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. Unmute your microphone, sir, and watch your language. We're not going to have.
it's that delayed mute, you tether. Stop muting the space, tether man.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
your new name.
yeah. That it don't hit though. It don't work. I'm not offended by that
I don't care what you're offended by.
because you're trying to project your
You on
offensiveness.
that fucking men's warehouse.
Okay, watch your language, little sassy tether. You saying tether to us that don't hit because we're not tethers, sir. So that don't work. You're failing, sir. You're failing at your trolling, just like you failed in your homeland, sir. How does it feel to be a triple failure? You're failing at everything. You failed at your homeland. You're failing over here. You're failing with your trolling. How does it feel to be musty and failing, sir? Come on, brother. Come on, you.
Let me ask you something, tether. Do you sit down when you pee?
Oh no, but your grandma does. Your grandma sit down when she pee, and she sits down on an inner tube peeing in the ocean, floating over here, sir. That's the problem. If you didn't flee, you would have better jokes than what you have, sir. Okay, now USC, you're already boring. You tethers are so boring and whiny. So you want to whine to Black Daddy?
Ah man, Tariq, you are foolish.
You want to whine to Black Daddy because you fled? Don't whine to me. I don't want to hear you whining tethers. Go in there and boil some bush meat and whine to your fellow musty relatives. Don't whine to me. We don't want to hear you whining with your little old musty ass.
You are a musty ass men's warehouse suit wearing ass.
Wish you could have a men's warehouse suit. You have on a dingy dashiki. All right? You wish you can get a men's warehouse suit. You got a dashiki warehouse suit, sir. You got a dashikis are us outfit on. A little thin polyester dashiki that's very itchy with must stains under it, sir. I will stay at men's warehouse as long as I'm not in a musty dashiki. All right? Anyway, whining tether. Don't get mad at us because we didn't flee. How you mad at us because we didn't flee? Tether's always trying to tell us what our ancestry is. The hell out of here. My ancestry is here. This is my homeland. My ancestry is here. I know where I came from. You're the one who don't. Don't ever forget that, FBA family. These tethers don't know their damn history at all. Don't let them run that game like they got some real deep, rich history that they know. They don't know nothing about their history because they done been remixed a million times over there. These folks don't even know their birthdays, man. Let's keep it a bone. Let's keep it a bone. They don't know their birthdays. I'm not trying to denigrate some of the family over there, but y'all not gonna play that game. That whole you don't know who you are game. That's a projection. We're foundational Black Americans are deeply rooted in our culture. Our culture is deeply more documented than theirs. That's the trick bag right there. We can document our history longer than they can theirs. We just, for some reason, I think we just assumed that they would sit around and just share all of this long, ancient ancestral wisdom. Yeah, they ain't got it. Them countries are new. Many of them tribal groups are relatively new. They're not ancient. Man, they've been flipped all around those areas out there, man. You dig? Oh, right. And they calling up mad because the jig is up because we ain't letting y'all run that game no more. What's up, Sky? Then we're gonna get DJ Genesis.
Flex, what's good, man?
What's up, Sky? Sir?
I'm great, man. I can't complain.
What's on your
Um, so quick question: what do you think about the concept of us all writing in reparations as a vote? Like I remember in 2016 when for that election they had the whole Harambe. They had like 3%, whatever for the vote. Like, what do you think? Like something like that, like
well,
just
yeah,
writing that in.
to be effective, it would have had to be organized early on. It's only a couple of weeks to the election, so yeah, you'll get about 20 or 30 people writing it in. But yeah, people are not going to do that in massive amounts of time. They're not going to do that in mass. Just understanding logistics and the time. So, DJ Genesis, what's happening?
Hey, how are you? Long time.
How you doing, Genesis?
So, I have been getting emails from the Kamala side,
Yeah.
and one of the things I've seen is like this kind of like narrative about Trump trying to become a dictator and him saying that he wants to have a day of I don't know, violence, and he wants to he's going to be the last president. Do you know anything about that? Like about the Barron Trump connection to
Oh,
the whole thing?
that's scare tactics. That's a scare tactic, and none of that won't happen. These people, they're getting desperate, and they're just saying anything. Again, they don't have anything that we should proactively vote Kamala in for. So what they're doing is creating boogeyman tactics. Oh, he is going to be a dictator. Oh, he's going to bring Project 2025. Oh, the police is going to get everybody. They're trying to use a lot of scare tactics, and a lot of us are just not going for it. We ain't going for the scare tactics. I'm scared of Kamala's ass. That's what I'm scared of. Kamala Harris is, they got the borders wide open. You got um, all types of riffraffs and criminals from third worlds just running over here, running amok. That's what I'm scared of. Brittany, what's up, dear?
Hey Tari, what's going on?
How you doing?
I got a bone to pick with you tonight about a topic you made. I think it was yesterday your live that you made.
What did I say, dear?
I didn't like the fact that you were promoting like the drug thing in the hood because I feel like drug dealers that be in the hood are like killers. Like they should be assassinated because they're killing the community.
Okay.
So you don't agree with that?
So you said I was promoting them?
Yeah, you promoting like it's okay to sell drugs.
I never said that.
Well, you said it yesterday.
I never said it was okay to sell drugs. Yeah, you're not telling the truth, dear. I've
I watched your video,
I
so
never said it was okay to sell drugs. I never said that. I've never said that, dear.
have you sold drugs before? So that's probably why you on the same page with
Yeah,
them.
I've been around the dope game, but I've never said okay to sell drugs before. I've never said that, dear. Never said that. But I said I understand where they're coming from. I'm not going to wag my finger because I understand certain people do what they have to do. Then they get out the game, and some of them do phenomenal
What you
things.
mean where they're coming from?
Like Malcolm X. Like Malcolm X was a drug dealer and a street hustler. Malcolm X got out the game and became one of the most well-respected leaders that we've had. You understand? So I understand that. I can understand how people get in the street game for whatever reason, and then they get out and they do great things. Maya Angelou was working in a hoe house.
Mm,
She was a brothel, but she got out and became very influential. You understand? You
okay.
got people like the Jones brothers. out of Chicago. These brothers were numbers runners. They had alcohol and they were running bootleg and they were doing a lot of street business, but they
So
funding.
basically, you're saying it's okay to sell drugs. That's what you're saying,
I'm
basically.
no, I'm telling you where some of these people they do good things in the community.
That's
That is
not a good thing in the community selling drugs to people.
okay. Let me say this. Let's say you go and you see every black drug dealer and you shoot them tomorrow. Like you go to the neighborhood and there's 100 black drug dealers and you shoot all of them. What do you think is going to happen next?
What do you mean?
When you shoot all of the black drug dealers, what's going to happen? You're going to get the Asian and the Hispanic drug dealers are going to come on back in there.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I would say that, man, because before the black drug dealers, there was the Italians. The Italians were pushing a lot of drugs in the community.
Or so it's okay for just black people to do the same thing that they did.
Yeah, it is. You know why? You know
No,
why?
no, tell me.
Because at least the black people would take the and help the community,
Like who?
like the schools, like the hospitals. Some of them will help the community with the money, whereas the Italians, they would sell drugs and heroin in the black community and got all the profits and spent it on themselves.
No, I
The
don't think that's true.
ma'am, history is history. That's exactly what they did.
Okay, give me one person that was in the hood that did something for the community.
Um, Guy Fisher in New York, he was a drug dealer. He actually bought the Apollo Theater when it was about to be sold and demolished. They were about to get rid of the Apollo Theater, which was a cultural icon in Black society. A drug dealer bought it. You understand? My brother, my friend, Freeway Rick, did a lot of phenomenal in the community. He invested in Anita Baker's early career. You understand? So you have people doing some decent things, not to condone the drug dealing, but at least the black ones, many of them will do things in the community and uplift the community to a certain degree. Some of them, hell, 50 Cent. 50 Cent was a drug dealer. 50 Cent has done phenomenal things. 50 Cent has put a lot of people on.
How if he got shot 9 times, Tariq?
What about him getting shot 9 times? Yeah, he almost died. The game almost took him out.
Right.
Right. But
So that
he's
means he wasn't a good person, don't you think?
no, that means that some other bad people were trying to get at him.
Mm.
And that's what happens in the streets. That's the gamble you take. You understand? I'm not saying good, bad, right, or wrong. That's life, sweetie. I don't look at it from that perspective. Life is life. The streets are the streets. The streets is real. And a lot of people look at it like, hey, some a crackhead is gonna get high with somebody's dope. You understand
Not
that?
if they didn't sell it. I don't think they would if they didn't bring it to the
Crack,
community.
listen, sweetie, the crackhead is gonna find somebody's dope.
No,
All
if
right.
they bringing it, so
Now,
there's.
who brought it in though?
Excuse me.
Who brings it in? Because black people ain't bringing it in.
How do
Black
you know for a fact?
Because we don't have those international connections like that where we're flying in planes and boats. Those are the whites and the Hispanics and the Asians doing that. They're the international traffickers. We got to get it from them first.
I don't believe that it's just all of them that's just doing it.
Who's bringing it in? Name the black people bringing it in from overseas.
Well, I don't know any black people that's bringing it specifically because I don't know anything about the drug game or
Well, I
anything.
do. I've been
So
around.
I couldn't tell you that.
All right, then you should. Well, you should listen to somebody who knows. It's
Well, I'm
not the.
listening. That's why I
But
wanted to call.
don't put words in my mouth. Don't say that I condone it because
No,
I don't.
because I'm going off of what you said about. I think LeBron James made a post
Right.
about Big Meat. I'm
Slow down, baby girl. Slow down. I don't want you to start babbling because you just said something that wasn't true. I never said it was okay to sell drugs. I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I would prefer nobody sold any dope. I would prefer nobody being in the streets. But I understand why people get in it. That's what I'm saying. I understand why people hit them damn streets. Under the system of white supremacy, people sometimes have to do what they have to do to survive. I'm not here to judge anybody.
I know
I'm
you're promoting it still, Tariq.
not, not promoting it, ma'am. That's just not me wagging my finger.
I mean, I feel like you shouldn't be promoting it because you do have a big platform and a lot of people do
Yeah,
follow you. And basically, you're saying, like, you know what you're going through, so it's okay for you to do it because I understand. So that means to me, you're promoting it and saying it's okay.
ma'am, no. That's just you making it up, beloved.
No, I'm not making it up. I'm just going off of what you said, Tariq.
Oh, ma'am. No, 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 ma'am. There's somebody's gonna hit them damn streets, no matter what the hell I say. Somebody's gonna flip a brick somewhere. Somebody's gonna be on a host roll somewhere, no matter what I say. Somebody's gonna be flipping a credit card scam somewhere. Somebody's gonna be running guns some. That's what it is. That's just what it is, man. You don't really have to promote that. People fall into it. You understand? People
Not
fall in,
if it's presented to them, they won't.
but man, that's just that's how the world operates, man. Certain things are out there, and people have to do what they have to do to survive in many cases, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my thing is, this is why I try to chip away at the system that causes them to have to go into the life in the first place. Because the reason why a lot of people have to get out there in the streets is because of systematic deprivation. They want to do the right thing. Nobody aspires to go out there with a sack of dope. Nobody aspires to be on no damn host roll when they're young. They want to do.
Well, I can't say that because the music really in today's society plays a big role of why certain people wants to sell drugs and you know on a lot of different things. So
It
I
ain't.
kind of
I wish y'all stop blaming the music. It ain't the music.
well, it is Tyreek. I don't know if you
It ain't the
listen
music.
to it or not.
Sweetie, I knew the gangsters. I knew gangsters who would do drive-by shootings playing classical music. These niggas would listen to classical music before they went out there and blasted niggas.
So
It
you
ain't
don't think the music play a big role right now in
no,
society?
no, no. These niggas will shoot you playing Patti LaBelle. If you gonna get shot, you gonna get shot. All right. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Dudes be out here trapping, playing Britney Spears. They don't give a damn. Dudes got all types of musical tastes. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing. The music ain't got shit. That's a big myth. And they've always used
No.
music. No, ma'am, they've always said that about black music. The music, they said that about jazz. Jazz is gonna make people smoke dope. They said it about rock and roll. Rock and roll is gonna make people smoke dope. Every black genre we create, they say is gonna make you go out there and smoke some damn dope and sell pussy. Every genre. So it is what it is. Hip hop is gonna make you smoke dope and sell pussy. So yeah, that's all cap. I don't blame the music. I blame the circumstances. The reason why the cat is on
So
that
you
cone,
basically saying it's okay for them to rap about that certain type of music too. So
the
you
why man, stop. Yeah, you're doing a lot of projecting. So ma'am, stop that, beloved. Stop that.
no, I'm
Um
just asking
what
you. That's all I'm asking you.
okay, you're not asking me, you're just kind of projecting a narrative.
No,
What
I'm
city,
not projecting. I'm asking you a question.
young lady, you're projecting, dear? What city are you into? Are you in I forgot where you told me you were from. Were you in Detroit?
Detroit.
Detroit?
Detroit. Mhm.
You're in Detroit. Right.
Mhm.
And ma'am, they trap hard in Detroit. Every
Oh,
other
I
house,
know. I was raised around it. I
every other
know, and that's why I'm big on people not selling drugs.
I understand. When I was a child in Detroit in the 70s, one of my babysitters was a heroin driller.
Excuse me.
Yeah, one of my babysitters, one of my neighbor who kind of babysat sometimes was a heroin dealer.
So your
Nice.
mom let a drug dealer what babysit you?
People, yeah, they were cool people.
Oh
They
wow.
were cool people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They were cool people. I mean, we people understood they weren't going to have the heroin around no kid. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
But people understood what it was. People we live next door to certain folks.
Yeah.
People were in the game, people were in the streets, but there was a mutual respect there. Like, hey, we're not going to bring the kids into this stuff. We do what we need to do after dark, but in the daytime, everybody's going to put on their best face and be on the up and up. But when nighttime comes, people have to go out here and do what they got to do. You understand?
Okay.
So,
Yep. Mhm. Mhm.
so it's not condoning anything.
Well, maybe
Not
I probably misinterpreted, but I thought you was because of the post and the whole big mix thing everybody is going crazy about. I don't understand that, but
no,
but
they're going crazy about Big Meech because it's like a redemption story. This
but he's
guy
a drug dealer though. He's a bad
he
person.
he was a drug dealer and he went to bad person jail. He went to jail, and now it's a redemption story. So
But I
he
don't understand like how people so like proudly to promote him and he's not a good person. And he killed a lot of people.
ma'am, in the dope game, that's what happens. In the street business, people get clapped. That's what it is in the street game. The people that he got at allegedly, and when people get clapped on, these aren't squares. These are people who made choices in the street game. And like you said, 50 Cent got shot because he was a bad person. 50 wasn't necessarily a bad person. He was in a bad life. You were in a street game, you were in the life where that can happen to you. That's why
Okay, can I ask you one more question before
yeah,
I
go ahead.
I had seen the post like probably a while back ago with Donald Trump. He was saying like if he came into office or whatever like that, he will drug dealers will be it would be like a death penalty. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he's basically, I think he's talking about those Venezuelans for the most part. Uh,
The Venezuela. No, I'm talking about people in general that sell drugs, not
it,
people that's coming into the country.
yeah, but the thing, they're not going to do that because there's too many white drug dealers, there's too many meth drug dealers out there, so they're not going to give them the death penalty. They're not going to do that because the biggest drug in the country is meth, and those are white boys. So if you're going to put that on the books, that you're going to get them first. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to do it like that, but I think a lot of that was going after the foreign guys who's coming over here doing dope. I mean, selling drugs. So I don't know. But again, I don't condone none of that stuff, but I do understand where people are coming from and why people have to get into certain elements of the street life. I understand that. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Tony.
Thank you so much, Miss Brittany.
Okay.
There you go. That's Brittany. Brittany tried to flip it, trying to make it seem like I was condoning drug dealers. No, I'm not. I'm not condoning none of that. But I understand. I understand why people get into the street game. I understand it. I'm not going to wag my finger at them. I'm not going to play the moral police. The thing is, if you're in the game, well, you better get out of it. Get everything you need to get out the game and get out of it clean. Get out of it without going to the penitentiary. Get out of it without getting shot. I absolutely don't want people getting in the game. It's too damn dangerous. Trust me, I don't want any of y'all listening. I do not want y'all touching the streets at all. Let's be very clear. I do not want y'all touching the streets because a lot of you guys are not going to make it in the streets. Also, the game is different out here. Too many goofies, too many damn snitches. It's not going to work out for you. You understand? A lot of people just ain't built for it. The game is not what you think. It ain't what these cats rap about. I definitely don't want folks getting in the game. They're gonna get out here and just get to telling on everybody, and then your mama house gonna get shot up, and you gonna have to bounce. It's gonna be a living hell. Yeah, a lot of folks, y'all can't really stand on business like that. If you fucking around with these streets, you gotta stand on something. You gotta mean what you say and mean and say what you mean and enforce whatever your rules are. You better be down. You got to be 10 toes down. And a lot of people just ain't built like that. You should stay away from it. Now, cats who are already in it and dudes handling their business on the streets, I understand where you're coming from. I want to see you get up out of it. You know, and I understand and I get it. And I don't sit up here and say, oh, they're bad people. Because no, everybody who's in the game ain't a bad person. We don't know what their circumstances are. You understand? See, I don't do that. I don't play the square role where you wagging the finger at the street dude. You dig? and you wagging the finger at the street lady. See, that's another thing, yo. Square women, you want to wag your finger at the girl out here hustling and getting her money. You want to wag your finger at her, and 7 niggas then tore your pussy up this week and you didn't get no money. But you wagging your finger at the girl out here that done got a few bags out of a nigga. All right. See, I don't like that either. I don't like those finger wagging squares who want to wag their finger at the streets, and your coochie is community property out here with your dumb ass. And you want to wag your finger. And some of these square niggas want to wag their finger at the street dudes. And you ain't paid child support in 5 years. And you want to wag your finger about some morality, about what's destroying the community. And you got 7 kids that all hungry right now, nigga. You're destroying the community. You ain't giving no child support, and you wonder why your dude is out here looking at the guy driving around in the Rolls Royce. You dig? You understand? Let's get real for a minute for you square niggas talking about what the street shouldn't be doing. There's a reason why your kid is looking up to that nigga who's out here with the sack with the gold jewelry on and the rims and the candy paint. Because yeah, that dude is doing something with his life. You ain't. You understand? That's why he's looking at him. Your ass wasn't around, nigga. Be around your kid so he ain't looking at the dude out here blinged up. Be around your kid. That's why your kid is out here trying to figure out how to get him a sack to flip. Because your ass wasn't around. You understand? Square nigga. Ladies, come on now. Let's talk turkey out here. So yeah, y'all better be around your kids and guide them right and do some fly things so that they can look up to you. Yeah. Let me get some more people in here. Let's get Midwest Invader. Excuse me, Midwest Invader. Let's get you in here. We in here deep tonight. Midwest Invader, where you at, player?
Yo, what's up, Tariq? What's going on, King Flex?
My brother, I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm great, man. I be trying to get on. You keep blowing me up. You reject me like these women do. But
No, I,
you said what?
I, what's going
Damn, man, it's going in and out. I'm in my truck driving.
on? Okay.
Okay, I hear you now. Hear you now. Yo, I was gonna say, well, going back what you were saying with the drug game. A lot of people would tell these people like, well, they didn't have to get into a drug game. They had good parents and it came from a good neighborhood. And I'm like, hey, man, they did because their parents are like, you ain't got shit. I'm gonna kick you out. You ain't got a house. This, that, and the other. They're like, man, I gotta get out of my house. I gotta do it on my own. And it's either go to the military or go in the game. And people don't look at it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This are touching this. Just it ain't the music. It ain't like somebody. Listen, I really wish people stop that music thing. It's not like some dude was in law school and heard Glorilla and said, "Hey, I'm about to get out. Let me drop out of law school and go hit the block." That ain't it, man. Now stop that. It ain't it. Nobody heard a record and then made them want to hit the damn streets like that. No. Greg Nice, what's up, Greg?
Peace to Rick, man. Peace to the speakers. Peace to the listeners. I was talking about. I wanted to speak on the shorty Brittany from Detroit. I find that ironic. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here too, but I know quite a few drug dealers that have back to school backpack drives.
Yeah.
Back to school this, back to school that, homeless this, homeless that. These are the drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Again, you probably come from an era where these little young dudes out here have no respect for the hood, no respect for
for the people in the hood, no respect for themselves. And they out here telling on each other, shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it was. That's not what it's about. It's not to say that we're glorifying anything, because number one, I've known drug dealers that have supported, to your point yesterday, supported players. I was a basketball player in my city, and I know drug dealers bought sneakers for kids, made sure those Marcus Camby. I'm gonna tell you this. I played ball with this brother. Marcus Camby, broke. He wasn't rich. How you think he got what he got? The drug dealers in Bellevue Square protected that kid, man.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all nuts? I'm not sitting here glorifying shit. My cousin died, 19 years old, dealing drugs. So that was for me. I could be out here saying kill all these motherfuckers. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not me, because I understood once I got older and understood what it was, man. These brothers and sisters out here hustling don't really want to do that.
Yeah,
It's just what was left to them. I land my plane. Thank you, brother.
and I appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Yeah, like Brittany was saying up there in Detroit, oh, they're bad people, they this, they that. And hey, man, I'm not here to play the morality police. And I get where Brittany is coming from, you know. I get where she's coming from. I'm not really condemning her either. I get where she's coming from because, you know, the aesthetics of it, somebody's out here on the streets selling dope and all that, you know, that's not a good look. I'm just saying that I just don't condemn everybody for whatever their choices are, because I understand certain circumstances and we have to have better alternatives. See, my thing is, I don't want to condemn one group and then there are no other alternatives. Because, like the brother who just said, a lot of the guys in the streets, they're the ones buying uniforms for the ball teams and all of that in the neighborhood. Because let's be real, let's talk real turkey tonight. A lot of the squares who get up out the neighborhood, they're like, fuck them niggas. They don't ever come back. They like, damn them to hell. A lot of times when a lot of folks square up and get into square society, and then they get them a bag in the legit world, which is what you're supposed to do. A lot of them are like, the hell with black society. It's all about me. They ain't helping no kids in the community. They ain't doing nothing. You understand? And let's be real, a lot of the businesses in the black community, that's in the black community, many of those are the street dudes. When you look at the legitimate businesses in a lot of black areas, look at the owners. It's the street dudes who own those joints. You understand? The street dudes or the former street dudes. Your barbershop, where y'all at, whatever city you in, I can almost guarantee the dude who owns the barbershop, especially if it's a relatively new one. I'm not talking about the one that's been there generationally, but hell, even that one. But most of your barbershops is street dudes who own them barbershops. Most of your barbershops are street dudes. The new ones, if you look at the owner, it's going to be some street dude in these areas, a former street dude. Yeah. A lot of the legitimate businesses are the street dudes in the hood. You understand? A lot of those legitimate joints, the rim shop, that's the street dude. Yeah. Some of the clothing stores, it's the street dudes. If it's black owned. Yeah. So yeah, I don't knock everybody, because some of them do what they have to do so that they can get into legitimate things. Let's get Noor in the building.
Hey, what's up, Flex?
What's up, Noor? How are
I'm
you?
good. How about you?
I'm good, Noor. Where you from, Noor?
Now I'm from Chicago.
Shout out to Chicago. What's on your mind?
So one, I want to start off by saying, like, I really I enjoy listening to your chats on here. It's very informative, and you have like you're very funny. Like, I think that
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I think people can relate to you, even if they disagree with you. You have a very
Hmm.
funny way of like communicating things. But so I'm in full agreement with you when you're talking about what's going on with the political situation at the moment. And I appreciate you speaking out, specifically seeing what they're doing to the black man. But
Yeah.
one point I would disagree on is like I kind of agreed with the sister who was speaking earlier, who was talking about the music. Like me being from Chicago, like specifically, I can like because of that, I saw the reaction. You know, Chicago is where drill started, right? And so you
Yeah. Oh,
had drill, which started in Chicago, and then from there, you know, they have it in New York now. They got it even in Europe. They got it in London now. But to see the effect that like drill had on Chicago was so different from like the music that was being made that I feel like there's a big reason that the music does have an impact on society. And it's the same reason why you see people like Leor Cohen going on the Breakfast Club talking about like basically I don't care what these people do, I gotta eat. They understand like the effect that it has, and this is why they make sure that they don't put, you know, so many people within their communities pushing these same sort of messages, and when they do, it's very rare. You know, do you agree with that, or do you disagree with that?
to a certain degree, because look, out there in Chicago, they've always put in work, man. You go look at the movie Cooley
Oh
High
yeah, I've
from the
seen it.
70s.
Yeah.
Cooley High, where they were talking about the Vice Lords and the
Mm-hmm.
disciples, and they were going around playing Motown records, putting in some work. So it don't matter. It don't matter what the music. They gonna put in some work out there, man. Just circumstances. And I get it. Sometimes the music it makes it seem a little cooler. I get that to a certain
Mm-hmm.
degree. But it's really the circumstances. It's the circumstances that the brothers and sisters are put in. Chicago is a very segregated
For
city.
sure.
Yeah, it's very racially segregated, and then the resources are drained from the black community, and the only thing that's left are the little crumbs in the street game, and then everybody's competing over that. So that creates a cluster flop of illicit behavior. So I just look at the whole totality of what goes down and what creates those situations in these areas. And the music can play a certain role with influencing certain things, but it's more so the circumstances. I don't want to put too much on that. All right, let's get um Chetson. Chetson, I think your name is Chetson. What's up, Chetson? Chetson, what's happening? Unmute your microphone.
Hey, Tariq.
Oh, okay, what's going on? I can't hear you, bro. You got music playing? What's happening? Chetson, I can't understand you. Okay, Chetson, I'm gonna get you out of here. I don't know what you're doing. Let me get our good brother, Mr. Professor Allen, in the building.
Hey,
Professor,
what's going on, Tariq? What's going on, family? You we're talking about what causes people to do certain things, and you're so right. I was in a space a moment ago trying to explain um, B.F. Skinner with the Skinner box with the rat. Basically, um, the research has been done to condition people to do certain types of things, and it's really important that you understand that people don't choose to get out on the street. It's you've been conditioned by a system to do that. And I want last thing I'm gonna say is y'all can look up a psychologist named B.F. Skinner who was hired to do experiments on rats to see how could you force a rat to live outside of his nature. And that research was used to create, I forget the project in Atlanta, but it was used to create the projects in Atlanta and Cabrini Green. So essentially they created a tactic to create drug dealers and people who had to do other things in a laboratory. So this is social conditioning. It's an experiment.
my man, thank you so much. Yeah, man, it's real stuff. They understand the certain circumstances they put people in and what that's going to lead to. They understand that that's very much orchestrated. Listen, human nature is human nature, man. Listen, people will survive how they need to survive. And if you starve somebody out and you deprive them of something and say, okay, here's an alternative, and you set that alternative up like a trap, unfortunately, there are certain people who are going to go for the trap. Now, there are some people who do understand that it's a trap and they kind of work around it. They step around it, they keep their eyes open, they look over their shoulder. and they have a goal. They say, hey, I'm going to do this until I get to where I need to be over here. So different people have different journeys, but we do have to understand a lot of these situations, they are definitely orchestrated. They're 100% orchestrated. That's why I really go out of my way to go after the system that creates these circumstances that causes us to have to make these um, horrible choices where we have to get in the streets and do this stuff. But again, I don't condemn. I just don't condemn because I understand the circumstances. Yeah. Let's get let me see. Let's get Black Rhino in the building. Black Rhino. Black Rhino in the building, and then we'll get Danzyland Soil. Black Rhino and Danzyland.
What's up, Tariq?
What's going on, Rhino? How are you, sir?
Good. Speaking of the game, man, I had an uncle by the name of Warren. He was 16 years old. Speaking of the game, he's 16 years old, and he went into the military during the Korean conflict. Well, he ended up getting sick and everything, and got sick and everything. So they pumping his body up with a bunch of drugs. He ended up becoming a addict. So when he came, they gave him a dishonorable discharge. So when he was forced out the military and whatnot, his best friend in the military, was a guy by the name of Marzette. Marzette was one of the biggest dope dealers in the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
So given the fact that he didn't have any other options, you know what I'm saying, he had to go to that life.
Yeah.
And he helped a lot of people. He helped a lot of people within my family start businesses and everything. You know what I'm saying? And better themselves. So
Oh yeah.
sometimes people are forced into that game. Don't necessarily make them bad people. It's by force.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and speaking of Detroit, like the sister, and then did you grow up in Detroit?